Well, best part of the whole ceremony? It was short.
Perhaps for you, as you ducked out early. The others are probably just getting started. The drunkenness never ends in this quaint realm.
Not so fond of Toussaint after all, are we?
Ah, this place is like a strong wine, Geralt. Good in small sips. How do you find my personal brew? Not too strong?
Just right.
Credit the local mandrake of the Alrauna diavolis variety for that. The tubers which grow in this area's volcanic soil have an altogether unique flavour profile and display a remarkably uncommon dark brown tint.
Fascinating. All I can say is this batch turned out excellent.
Indeed. It might be wise to stockpile some roots for the future. Would you care to accompany me?
Sure, I'd be delighted. But man, oh man. That ceremony had me so worried. I thought for sure one of them was about to pull out a knife, but thankfully neither did. Anyways, are you sure right now? In the dark?
You decide to go root picking now? It's dark out.
Geralt, even were I generously to assume it had simply slipped your mind that I am a vampire and thus need no light to see, I'd never believe you had also forgotten that you likewise have absolutely no trouble seeing in the dark. So, shall we?
Alright, you make a damn good point. Let's go.
If you think it's a good idea, let's go. But I think you might be forgetting one thing. Fresh mandrake root of this variety is highly toxic, even to a witcher.
Ah, not a problem. I never forget matters of safety and hygiene in alchemy. Here, gloves and a mask. Don them, and you shall be in no danger.
Thanks. Right then, let's go.
Yeah, and before that, let's make sure we actually have these things on. So we have quest items. What does this go in our pockets? And then same with the gloves, I assume? Or no, they would go here, wouldn't they?
Makes me oh so dreamy.
Penny for your thoughts. Let me guess. Succubus twins?
No, I was thinking about, how anything can look interesting when properly lit.
Even an old necrophage corpse?
You've not an ounce of refinement in you, have you?
I guess not. Oh yeah, these must be the roots. And looks like we need just one more.
Now, where'd that bloodsucker go? Won't be easy to track down. He's a vampire after all.
Well, there's gotta be something.
Regis!
Yeah, vampire or not, he still leaves footprints, doesn't he?
Damn it, where'd you go? Regis!
You raise your hand against the vampire!
What the hell? I could have sworn all our troubles were over.
Those Bruxay, they called you a traitor.
Alas, we've a very simple code of honor, we vampires. So simple you might call it trivial. Either one is with us, unconditionally, regardless of the circumstances, or
Won't let it go, will they?
they will not. Fortunately, we've another rule, an unwritten one, and just as trivial as the first. It is neatly summarized in the saying, out of sight, out of mind. That is why I must leave Toussaint. For a vastly long time, most like.
Yeah, I get it.
Let us make for my camp. I've an overwhelming desire to have another drink. Supreme bouquet. Firm, defined beginning, then develops gently, rising to a startling finish. Don't you think?
Not much of a connoisseur.
Then it is high time you started your education. After all, the Corvo Bianco vineyard is now yours. By the way, I left a gift for you at your new home, on the nightstand.
Thanks. Mind telling me what it is?
A trifle. That will nonetheless be useful should you need mutagens. Incidentally, have you thought about what you'll do with your prize? Shall you hang your swords over the mantle and take to pruning vines?
No, I would rather not do that. Sort of a boring life, if you ask me.
No, just not the life for me. Sure, might stop by there occasionally, stay the winter, fill up on wine. But I'd rather keep moving. It's not a choice being a witcher. And once you are one, you're one for life. You can't just step off the path. Besides, plenty of work left for me in the world. Ghouls aren't gonna kill themselves.
Rather droll, isn't it, that each time we meet, something harrowing must happen? I can remember a night, not too far from here if I'm not mistaken. We hid in a cave while a blizzard raged all about. Does that sound at all familiar?
How could it not? We just set off to rescue Ciri from Vilgefortz.
Oh, our encounter with Vilgefortz. That is something I do not remember so fondly. But that first stay in Beauclair, far calmer than this one.
Seemed like a land straight out of a fairy tale back then. Its sole problem, cellars too small to accommodate all that wine.
Appearances, Geralt. Appearances, like Mamoons and Dopplers, deceive. So what did become of Vilgefortz?
Killed him. Sure wasn't easy, though.
So, now that this is all over, where do you plan to go? Especially seeing as you're being hunted now.
What about you? Any idea where you'll go?
Distance is of the essence. I thought I might venture south.
Nilfgaard?
Why ever not? The Nilfgaardians are a modern society. None there believe in vampires anymore. This fact alone could be very useful to one wishing to remain incognito.
Interesting point of view.
Well, if you don't mind, we could stay here a little while longer.
I so don't feel like going anywhere. Sit here a while longer?
So we shall, my friend. We have witnessed, and in fact on several occasions incited, many great and weighty events. After all that toil, I believe we deserve a bit of a rest.
That we do.
Okay, well, hopefully we can all agree that was a damn good DLC. Quite frankly, I don't even know if we can just call it a DLC. It seemed like it was so much more. But yeah, honestly, I think I've said it before, but The Witcher 3 has really become my new favorite game. And even though Blood and Wine wasn't really as emotional as, you know, the main story, that was still easily one of my favorite playthroughs. But it's weird, because I never really feel this way with most any other games, but for some reason, after beating The Witcher 3 and even this, I get this weird feeling of sadness just because I never really wanted it to end. But I guess that's just a sign of how much I enjoyed it. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed the series, and whether you just saw a couple episodes or the whole damn thing, I really do appreciate you watching. It means the world to me. And like I said, hopefully it was an enjoyable watch. Now, I remember Regis saying he left us something at the vineyard. A little bit of a surprise, so maybe we should go check that out really quick.
Actually, I'd love to go home.
Yeah, question is, Geralt, what exactly would you call home these days? We've got Kaer Morhen, a new place here, and we did buy a home with Triss, didn't we? But while we're still here, we might as well stop by the vineyard. Alright guys, it appears we are here.
I work from dawn to dusk's last light, then give my wife a good long night.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Fawlty. By order of the Duchess, I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corfu Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands.
Prior to undertaking anything in that regard, sir, I feel I should inform you that someone has been awaiting your arrival.
Who might that be?
You must forgive me, I do not know. Alas, your guest failed to give a name. One last request before you go in to see them. Please, come and find me afterwards. I have yet to give you a tour of the estate.
Triss?
In the flesh?
I thought you were in Kovir.
I got tired of waiting for you, so I decided to head to Toussaint. Catch some sun, see how things are going. You said it would only take a moment.
Things are pretty much wrapped up, luckily. We'll be able to head north soon.
I hope you're not upset I came like this, without warning.
True, I haven't always been fond of surprises. They remind me of work, the law of surprise, surprise child. But I think I've changed my mind. Seems surprises can actually be pleasant. Very pleasant. Let's go outside. There's this one cozy spot you're gonna love.
So is she the surprise Regis was talking about? If that's the case, he is very clever, but I gotta say, I had a feeling that letter she sent us wouldn't be the last we heard of her. So this is kind of a nice surprise.
How are things in Kovir?
Amazingly boring and predictable. Council meetings mainly concern trade matters, tariffs, storage regulations, that sort of thing.
Missing the excitement?
You know the Aetheri saying, may you live in interesting times? Well, I've already done that, and now I'm looking for a bit of quiet. The other mages I brought with me from Novigrad, or who made it north on their own, feel the same. You wouldn't recognize them. No conspiracies, cabals, plotting. They just sit there and work, for the good of the kingdom. Sometimes I think it's all too lovely to be true. That something's bound to happen. Another war, or some other horror. But for now, it's nice. And once you finish your business here and come join me, it'll be even better.
Yeah, I imagine it would be, wouldn't it? But that being said, what do you think of this whole place? After spending so much time in Kovir?
So, how do you like my vineyard?
I think you know the answer to that. I like it a lot. House is big, but not showy. Lovely location. Perfect for romantic getaways.
Planning to do a bit of renovation. Paint the walls, replace the roof tiles, install tin gutters.
Have you thought about the garden? Will you leave it as it is, or change it?
Maybe a hedge maze? With a statue in the center? One that's stately and nude.
Oh, Geralt, don't bring up that ball. The wine got to my head and I...
Not bringing it up to tease, but to reminisce. That evening, it was magic. And your dress. You looked lovely in it.
I've got it with me. I could put it on one evening. We'll dine outside by candlelight, listen to the music of the cicadas.
Can't wait.
So that does bring up a good question, doesn't it? How did you find me here? After all, Tucson is a rather big place.
How'd you find me? Kavir's a long way off.
I have my ways, Geralt. Hydromancy, for example.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, what becomes of us? See anything else in the reflection?
Zoltan moves in.
Please tell me you're joking.
You can breathe easy. Far as I know, he settled down in Novigrad and has no intention of budging. In all seriousness, though, I did see a few scraps of our future, but I'd rather not tell you exactly what.
Why not?
Because you said you've grown to like pleasant surprises.
Okay, well, as much as I love sitting here, maybe you wouldn't mind walking around for a bit.
This is your first time in Tucson, right? Want me to show you around a bit?
Sorry, but I've already made plans.
Oh? What are you going to do?
Lie down in the sun and not move an inch.
Ah, right. A packed schedule. Not overdoing it a tad.
Oh, gotta get the most of this weather before I return north. Know that joke about how to tell when summer has come to Kavir?
The rain isn't quite so cold.
And sadly, that's not far from the truth. Oh, I shouldn't have told you that. Now you'll change your mind and not come join me.
I wouldn't worry about that. Mind if I leave you here alone for a moment?
Just a moment.
Alright guys, so I guess that really does mean that is the end of pretty much everything, because I believe I've heard a time or two that this was the very last story for Geralt of Rivia. Luckily, if you still haven't had your fill of Witcher stuff, I know the new Gwent game is just around the corner, or at least I think it should be. And what I find quite interesting is that supposedly it's not all about just the cards, but apparently there's also a open world aspect to it. So who knows, maybe we might actually see Geralt again. But anyways guys, once again, thank you so much for watching, especially if you've stuck around this long. And as always, I will see you in the next one.